Hello, you beautiful noodles, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalia if you're new, and if you are new on Mondays, I do Music Monday videos. Walk into the room and I feel the stairs. You're wondering if the talent claimed is really here. This is week 3. Can you believe it? We're doing it. Consistency! Yes. Okay. So last week, I talked about, how I am kind of in real time refocusing, revamping, restructuring what this process looks like for me. And I'm not letting that stop me from doing things. One of the things that sometimes makes me super nervous, or not nervous, I have this habit. If it doesn't work perfectly the first time, I may just stop doing it. As you go back through my old YouTube videos, you'll see I started series. I was like, I want to do this, that, and the third, and it just didn't work out. I'm accepting that it's not going to look exactly how it will look at the end, but I got to keep doing the rewrites and I got to keep doing the things. Anyway, saying all that to say, we are in week 3. I love to see it. I got the exercise workbook. So I have the morning pages along with the book, along with the workbook. Now, I needed this. Everybody may not need this while you're going on your artist way journey. For me, I recognized that if I have to think a bit too much about something, all of that thinking a bit too much gives me time to outthink my or overthink my way out of actually doing something, period. So, got this notebook so that when it's time to do my exercises, I can't say, oh my gosh, I don't know where to put it. I don't know what notebook to do it in. It's not going to work. We got a place to go. All right. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the notes for what I want to talk about for week 3. So the big thing about week 3 was reclaiming a sense of power. And the first part that they talked about is anger. And woo boy, did a lot of anger come up in expected and also unexpected ways. I know for a blocked artist, you get angry at the fact that you have all these ideas and you don't just do it. And then you see those ideas coming out into the world or like into fruition for other people. That is one of my big points of anger, especially this goes all the way back to the pandemic. I was watching all of these YouTubers make content and I was like, oh my God, this is slop. This is whatever. Like I could totally be doing better than this. Had I did that back in 2020, who knows if we would be having this conversation here right now, right? Because that anger was really me being frustrated with myself and seeing someone doing things that I felt I could do better. And maybe it is possible that I will be able to do these things better just a little bit on down the road. But that anger and me sitting there in that anger, seething, by the way, I let that anger not move me to action, but it moved me to inaction because in my head, I'm going, oh, whatever. They're doing all of this and it sucks, but look at how popular they are. Like, I could totally do it. But I just sat in the fact that I could do it and I didn't do it. And that allowed me to grandstand, right? Thinking about what I was going to be able to do and what it would look like when I finally got off of my butt and did it myself. But as we can see, I didn't do it. I didn't get up. So dealing with the mourning of what could have been, but also accepting what is, because that's going to make my future. And it is very possible that I needed to go through all of these things to get me to this point to make sure that I am repurposing and refocusing my anger, right? Because another thing that they talked about with the anger is like I'm supposed to follow the anger to the end to see what it is that's actually making me angry, because somebody could have an offhanded comment and then to them they're like, it's literally not that deep, but to me it's actually something that may have been said multiple times in my life and I believed it, and then it's like, dang, I can't believe this is coming from you, a person that I trust. One thing that I did write down here is I get frustrated with the ask because people don't read into the response like I do, and it makes me feel like they don't care and my needs were unheard and I had to make grand gestures for me to be paid attention to. So for me, when I may say something and I think I'm being clear, but if I once I sit in it and think back in hindsight, I'm like, wow, you weren't really clear because I gave a loaded answer to something. And to me, if you didn't read into it, that means that you don't care enough to read into it. And that's not fair to the other person, because I also know when I get frustrated when people want me to read into their responses and I have no idea what they're talking about or where it's coming from, because unfortunately, there's always going to be an inner dialogue that no one else has access to, and they don't have that the same exact lived experience to be able to take what you're saying and interpret it to mean what you mean. So we're working on that. Second thing that they talked about in week 3 is synchronicity. So much stuff have started to line up, and it was lining up for me in week 2 and week 1, but I think it really showed its face for me last week, because I go, I want to sing more, right? Like I want to get booked for more shows, and instead of saying I wanted to, I started saying, okay, I'm getting booked for shows. I've got all these things lined up. It's going to be great. I got booked for a show in June. I'm very excited for that. I will give the information as soon as I know that I'm able to share it. But I'll probably just put it in the link in the description here. So I will be somewhere performing. I'm not the main performer. I'm just performing there. But I am super excited because I'm finally getting back into a community of creatives. I said I wanted community. I have felt less weird about reaching out to people that I haven't talked to for a long time, because I recognize that all of the stuff that I've got going on in my life, they probably have the same, if not more, going on in their life. And I was making a lot of assumptions to where people were not reaching out. And if I don't reach out, I can't sit here and say, oh my gosh, they never reached out to me. They didn't want to talk, blah, 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 blah. That could be well and true and well and good and all that, but I never reached out. So how would I know? So now I'm reaching out to people. I'm scheduling hangs and little coffee dates, and I'm making sure that I don't stay in the house. Last summer was not a summer. I don't know. It literally just happened without me being there. Like I was a passive participant. So I am actively participating in my life now, because I hate it. I hate watching, like I look up and it's been 2 weeks and I don't know what happened in those 2 weeks. That's so sad to me. That makes me so sad. So this morning pages have helped me look at that, and I feel a lot better, but I still want to make sure that I'm active and aware, and I understand, like I know what's going on. I'm not having this what is it, days go by. I can't think of the song right now. If I think of it, I'll put it here, but I don't think I will. Then they talked about Big Brother Shame. I don't know why I called it Big Brother Shame, because it's not what it says in the book, but they talked about shame. And with art, especially for me, because I think I'm approaching this journey from being a singer, but I also am just a creative in general. So I don't want to box myself to just singing, whatever. When I think of shame and how I relate it to myself as an artist and in my artist journey, I think about the fact that I write lyrics. Everything that I write as a singer with the lyrics, I have the ability to put myself into other people's shoes and sing about what's going on, but majority of the art that I create is being written from a personal point of view and something that I've gone through, because those emotions in those instances are so palpable that it makes it a lot more clearer to what I'm trying to convey or express in the song. So sometimes singing those songs, especially in front of people that may be involved in the situations that the songs were based off of, tend to get a bit dicey, at least for me. Even though I accept that this is my experience and I wrote about my experience from my point of view, and it's, I can talk about this because I went through it, and it's not like I'm quote unquote telling someone else's business or making, whatever. That's not the case. Like I can just talk about it. So shame, sometimes it makes me feel weird when it's time to perform my music, and I understand why a lot of artists have a kind of alter ego or another person that they step into to perform, to make it a bit easier to distance themselves from it and from the art, but I also want to make sure that in that, like in doing that, I'm not distancing myself so much so where it doesn't feel like it's me or my music or my art. God, anyway, say all that to say, the shame definitely was attributing to my fear of being seen or fear of being perceived, because when someone perceives you and they know you, it's intimate, right? Like that's a form of intimacy, having someone be able to understand and to see you in a way that is very personal, and you're being vulnerable. So I am working through that one, because I don't want that to be a reason why I just don't talk to everybody. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. Last little bit, criticism. Stop being angry at criticism. You're not always right, and there's something to learn about yourself at all times. Even when I don't get it right, I still made progress because I did the thing. Accepting that there is going to be some criticism that's just mean and it's not even critical. They just don't like what you're doing. And when people are presented with things that make them look at or confront something inside of themselves that they haven't dealt with or makes them uncomfortable, the first thing that people do is they resort to anger. And in that anger, people just say things to hurt. Like, when they say hurt people is very true. People are just saying things because it's like, I feel a certain way about what you've done or what you've said or what you've created, and I want to elicit that same reaction from you, so I feel valid about the way that I feel. When in all reality, all they have to do is sit with the emotion, right? Like when I was talking about anger, walk back to the beginning of the anger. Are you angry at me making a song that you feel is quote unquote cringe because I'm talking about something that happened in my life? Or are you angry at the fact that you don't feel comfortable enough to deal with however someone might view you, and you've dealt with the same thing, and there is a tinge of jealousy in the freedom that I may have to be able to speak about something the way that I am? That's all well and good. Like, if that's the feeling that you're working with and you're dealing with, deal with it, please. And know that I am okay enough to understand that that's really what's going on. But that's not the same thing to say that sometimes you will get criticized because it's just not good. Like, what you create just may not be good. And that's fair too, right? That's very fair. Learning the difference is where we are now, because I can recognize that if someone has the technical knowledge to be able to express a problem with a song or with something that's been digitally created, art, whatever, I accept that. But if you're just saying, oh my God, this sucks, I hate the way it makes my ears feel, and why would you talk about that? Not valid criticism. Nope. Mm-mm. Well, there you are, my beautiful noodles. That is week 3. We are moving on to week 4. I know you want some more. Oh, the big thing. I did my journal pages. I didn't finish my journal pages on one day, but I did do them for 7 days this week. And I went on my artist date, but it wasn't the one that I planned. I went out and did some fabric shopping and just like browsed around. But then I sat and had a quesadilla. And I know this sounds wild, but I'm not very good at fueling the artist in me. I have been such a go grindaholic that when I have to take a break and do something that I need to take care of myself, it feels like I'm wasting time, even though I know that's crazy, right? Because if you don't eat, you can't create. So that was a big thing for me. So I was very excited to actually, even though I did do it out of necessity, I sat and took my time to do it. I didn't rush to eat. I didn't say, okay, I gotta hurry up, scrap this down, and then I gotta go and I gotta do something else. It wasn't about that at all. It was, I sat and in eating realized that I needed this moment of slowness and this quesadilla to refill the artist inside of me, and that it is okay to take the time to sit here and eat this and enjoy it, and I don't have to just make it a go finish immediately. Yeah. Next week, I am hoping to have a better artist date. I have planned it. It is on the calendar. It has a time slot. Nothing else can be booked in that time slot, so it's happening. It's happening, and I'm excited to talk about it. Anywho, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, be sure to like it, and if you loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can be here for the rest of this journey. I know that I was supposed to have a song, and I don't have the song, and I'm being very honest because I talked about the song, I wrote about it for one day, and then I didn't do anything else. So it's Memorial Day today. You know, I do the Monday video on Monday just to make it as authentic as possible. I'm gonna go and eat some barbecue and not shame myself for not making the song, but I will have to make it, and it'll have to be out by Wednesday. And if you guys don't see a Wildcard Wednesday video here with the song, and it may not be mixed, mastered, and all that, but I'll have it, okay? I will have it. So you mark those calendars for Wednesday. Anyways, okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much, my beautiful noodles, for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one, okay? Bye!